Hey, everybody, this is a special edition of the Signals AZ podcast. And right now we got Ron Williams, Constable Ron Williams, a.k.a. Constable, if that's okay.
It's okay.
And we got Brad Courtney of Whiskey Row.
Whiskey Row historian.
You're a Whiskey Row historian, which you must have a lot in your brain because there's a lot of history there. Thanks for coming in. We're talking right now about an upcoming event, and it looks like August 14th, and this is Doc Holliday Night. Right?
Doc's birthday, as a matter of fact.
Doc's birthday. Yep. So tell us a little bit all about this.
Right. So it all started when Ron and I have been talking about the Prescott tombstone connections, because there's so many. And, of course, people at Prescott know that Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp were here, but they don't – there's never been really any close look at it. And so I was – working on this Prescott Tombstone Connection project, and I decided to focus on Doc. And even Doc's biographer, Gary Roberts, said that his time in Prescott needs to be looked at more closely. And what happened was I was actually researching the famous photograph of him in Prescott, and I was at the Charlotte Hall Archives, and I'd given the basic information to a researcher named Sue Kissel. Mm-hmm. And, we knew Doc Holliday when he was here in 1880, lived on Montezuma Street. We know he lived with Richard Elliott and the acting governor of all people, John Gosper. But no one knew exactly where that house was located. And she was able to go back in the archives and find the records. And we found the lots that Richard Elliott owned, and so where the house would be. And we go, hey, we need a plaque. And we did a campaign to raise money for it, and it was very successful. And the plaque will go in. Well, it's going in now, but it'll be unveiled on August 14th at 4:00, and then we'll have a reception afterwards at the Marina Room at the Hacienda for that event.
Okay, so the plaque is going where exactly?
So behind Bashford Courts, the parking lot there. They took out Doc's house and put it in the parking lot.
There's a song there, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where the house was where he stayed,
right.
was just right behind Bashford
pretty much
Courts.
right in the middle.
That's Montezuma and
Gurley.
Just above Gurley.
It's essentially across the street from not Taratai, what is it? It's the Indian restaurant right across the street. Taj Mahal. Directly across the street from Taj Mahal or the Point Bar. There's that parking lot right behind Bashford Courts.
Yep.
And right next to Yavapai Title. And it's that parking lot was the lot that Richard Elliott's house sat on.
Probably. Do we have a picture of that building at all?
We wish.
No.
There's newspaper articles about it. Actually, the house took 3 lots.
Okay.
I mean, it was a very grand house. It was a boarding house. It was advertised in the papers as a boarding house. So it had multiple rooms. It obviously was fairly high end because Richard Elliott was very successful. The acting governor lived there.
Okay.
And like Brad said, it's humorous because you have Richard Elliott, who was a teetotaler. He was a prohibitionist. He was against alcohol.
Sorry to hear that.
And you had Doc Holliday, who liked his alcohol.
Right. And
the acting governor all sharing a roof. And only in Prescott would that ever happen.
It's a Three's Company, right?
Exactly. There's a comedy show there somewhere.
Definitely. Now, I forget, when did Arizona become a statehood?
1912.
Valentine's Day.
So you said when did they live in that house? What was the date?
So that was 1880. So
this is prior to statehood.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Arizona,
quite a bit.
30 years before statehood.
And government, John Fremont was actually the governor at the time, but he was always absent. He's the most famous territorial governor, but he was always gone and inept. So Gosper, the secretary of the territory, was acting governor the whole time Doc was living with him.
Okay.
So a man that was kind of loose with the law, Doc Holliday with John Gosper.
That's always been. So I want to stick to the event.
Yes,
talk all about.
So we have the plaque unveiling then.
Okay, cool.
4 p.m. on Wednesday, August 14th, Doc's birthday. We're unveiling the plaque where he lived for the better part of a year. And following the plaque dedication, we'll have several people speak there, obviously. We're going to have Corey Allen, who is the official Doc Holliday for the Oriental Saloon in Tombstone, Arizona, who also shares Doc's birthday, will be up speaking as well. And then afterwards, we're all going to migrate down to the Marina Room at the Hacienda Hotel, and we're gonna have a reception.
Nice.
There'll be hors d'oeuvres. There'll be a no-host bar. There'll be a Old West fashion contest. Best looking, most historically accurate. We're gonna have a Doc judging contest by Corey himself.
Okay.
And there'll be prizes. There'll be some chances to win some local artwork from Kookie Hargrave, who's a local artist.
Okay.
That's Doc adjacent.
Okay.
And it'll be a lot of fun, I think.
So again, plaque unveiling at 4 p.m. next to 123 North Montezuma Street in Prescott, behind Bashford Courts. We'll be placing a commemorative plaque showing where Doc Holliday lived during his time in Prescott. Reception at 5 p.m. At the Marina Room, as you mentioned. Again, that's 122 East Gurley Street, Prescott. We're looking forward to it. Thanks for coming in, and we're doing another episode. We're going to talk a lot. We're going to dig into history on Chasing Mythos podcast. Thanks for coming in, Brad Courtney, Ron Williams. We'll see you in a bit.
Thank you.
Cheers.